Hey, this is Hammer with a 2,500 point battle line against my hated opponents, the Ogre Kingdoms. So, played a little smaller game this time, and against an Ogre player I've never played before. So my 2,500 point list, it pretty much takes some of my favorite things from my 3,000 point list, and just kind of trims points. So I got 5 mounted yeomen, a trebuchet, same double paladin unit that I've been using in my previous games. Heroic Killing Blow General's unit next to them is also the same. Then I have 48-minute arms, and I couldn't fit a damsel with a prayer icon, so they're just stock minute arms. Then I have my level 4s unit, also the same. Floor of Life, Crown of Command, Dispel Scroll. Another trebuchet. Got 18 bowmen, and then 5 more mounted yeomen next to that beautiful piece of terrain in the center, and 3 more peg knights on the far right. So everything my opponent has in his list you can see in this picture. So on the left he's got a unit of man-eaters with scouting and the stubborn special rule with pistols. You can see we made a mistake there. My yeoman and his man-eaters should be 12 inches away from each other, but we played it as is. So he's got a unit of 4 Mournfangs with a 2-up armor save and the Dragonhide banner, so gives him a breath weapon, and he can reroll ones, I think hits, wounds, and armor saves on the charge. Then he has one of my most feared units of all time, the Ogre Gutstar. So any of you who have played against this thing know how absolutely nasty this unit is. So he's got 4 characters. He's got a BSB, he has a Fire Belly, he's got a Bruiser, and then a Tyrant who's just nasty in close combat, and a whole bunch of Iron Guts in Horde formation. So just a huge number of Strength 6 plus attacks. And one of those 4 characters has the Crown of Command, and you don't know who it is, and this unit is so tough to beat in close combat. And if you're lucky enough to win, he's got the Crown of Command. So additionally, the traditional methods for horde busting don't work, because he has the Rune Maw banner. So if you try to Dwellers this unit, he can deflect that spell on a 2+, making this unit very difficult. So I've thought of ways to defeat this unit in the past, and the only 2 ways I've been able to think of are either just throw chaff at it and try to ignore it, or you have to combo charge it. When you combo charge it, I've come to the conclusion that you have to be in the rear for that +2 combat res. So this will present an interesting challenge. Then he's got an Iron Blaster, and this is just another view of the right side of the board. So on Ogre's turn 1, he charges my mounted yeoman, as you can see. Crushed him easily, and decided to reform instead of overrun, as he didn't want to give my knights too easy of a charge. Just moved up his gut bus as far as he could, and moved his Iron Blaster backwards. Shot at my level 4's unit and killed 2 knights, I believe. And then his magic phase I was able to shut down. He only had a level 2 of fire, his Fire Belly, so I had the advantage there. So on Brett turn 1, I was licking my chops after my mounted yeoman sacrifice, so both my knight units only needed a 7 to get in. So I take my BSB's unit into his man-eaters. I know they're stubborn, but this is the best unit I have that can grind these guys down and kill them to a man if need be. And then I took my Heroic Killing Blow General's unit into his Mournfangs, and yeah, they failed to get the 7 on 3 dice and stumble forward. Which is very unfortunate, because with Heroic Killing Blow, I'm destined to do some damage there. So to counter my failure, try to march my men-at-arms as far as I could to try to block and take the charge, but I just didn't have enough movement to do it. So at this point, he can still charge me and get 2 or 3 Mournfangs in contact with my general's unit. Also jump my mounted yeoman forward to redirect his iron guts. Need to slow him down as much as possible so they can't charge my men-at-arms until I'm ready. But just another view towards the right. Far right, I march my Pegasus Knights forward to threaten his Iron Blaster. In my magic phase, so I cast a Dweller's Blow at his Iron Guts, not knowing he had the Rune Maw banner. I should have assumed it though. And of course he passed his 2-up, and so the spell got deflected onto his Mournfangs. And Dweller's Blow killed 2 Mournfangs, which, you know, is pretty good. So it's unfortunate he had the Rune Maw banner, but hey, I'll take 2 Mournfang deaths any day. So after close combat on the left, yeah, I clearly crushed through those man-eaters, but he passes his stubborn 8 roll. So looking at this picture, on his next turn, when his gut bust charges my mounted yeoman, his BSB will be out of range of those stubborn man-eaters, which is by design. That's why I redirected at the angle I did. Hey, finally I did something that maybe will work. So on Ogres turn 2, he charges his Mournfangs into my Heroic Killing Blow General's unit. Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. 2 Mournfangs, I got a Heroic Killing Blow, should be steadfast for quite a bit. So, yeah, not too concerned here. Also charges his guts into my mounted yeoman, of course, who proceed to slaughter the mounted yeoman. In close combat with the stubborn man-eaters. Yeah, my 2 paladins go to town on him, but he's stubborn, of course. But now that his BSB is pulled too far away, he fails his stubborn 8, gets no reroll, and runs right off the board. More towards the center. Yeah, my Heroic Killing Blow General's unit cleans up those Mournfangs, no problem. I didn't kill him to a man, but when he rolled his break test, I rolled higher, so they got destroyed automatically. And so they pretty much didn't move because my men-at-arms are right there, so I kind of stopped 1 inch away from them. So Brett turn 2, I charge my Peg Knights into the flank of the Iron Blaster. I know this is not a sure victory because yeah, I've been in the flank of an Iron Blaster for several turns before and only broke it on turn 6 one game, so kind of nervous about it still. So towards the center, I elect not to charge the Gut Star. Instead, I move my BSB's unit to try to envelop the rear, and I reform my men-at-arms, swift reform them, such that the Iron Gut bus is in their front, while previously they were in the rear, because I don't want that full frontage to be able to attack the flank of my men-at-arms. It'd be bad news. And I move my Heroic Killing Blow General's unit straight forward, such that if he does charge the men-at-arms, I'll have a flank. I also move my level 4's unit as far back as I can so he can't sneak by me. Yeah, so lost a lot of knights there. 1, from blowing myself up with Dwellers, and 2, lost a few knights from his Iron Blaster shooting. So in the combat with the Peg Knights, of course, I do no wounds to this thing. It does no wounds to me either, but is able to reform, so I don't have the +1 combat res for the flank. Freaking Iron Blasters. So in Ogres turn 3, he did charge the front of my men-at-arms. In my previous magic phase, I got +2 toughness and Shield of Thorns on that unit, so he's wounding me on 3s instead of 2s, which at least helps a little bit, but I was really missing the prayer icon for the ward save here. As you can see, he crushed half my unit, but um, I remained steadfast on a 10, and I held. So another trick that kind of helped me here was, because I'd positioned my general's unit so close to my men-at-arms, he could only max models with a 3-wide frontage. So he started out this combat in horde formation, then reformed. So blocking his ability to max meant that I didn't have to take 9 strength 6 attacks plus a stomp, uh, which certainly helped a little bit. I mean, it still would have been steadfast anyways, but uh, it's just an interesting strategy to try. So because I held, the trap was sprung, and my heroic killing blow general slams into the flank of this gut star with my double paladin unit coming in from the rear. So this is a really complex combat with a lot of characters. Just took forever to fight it out, but basically he came in and killed 15 men-at-arms. I tried to get a +2 toughness my magic phase again, but he just spell scrolled it. But he only killed 15 because, he had reformed deep and was not in horde like the first combat. So my heroic killing blow general comes in and gets heroic killing blow on his BSB. So I got the 4 wounds of combat res plus -1 res to him for his BSB. My 2 paladins just performed as true champions, and each of them got the maximum amount of wounds through. So 3 each, I guess besides their horses. But the rest of my knights and horses pretty much rolled average, and the combat ended up being 20 to me versus 17 to him. So I won by 3. I mean, that's including the charge, the flank, my BSB, war banner, rear. So I really needed every bit of that to win this combat. So I won by 3, but he was stubborn. He still had the crown of command, so the BSB did not have it, which left him on a leadership 9 without a reroll, and he failed it. And for the first time ever, I beat and run down my most hated unit in Warhammer. So after this point, my opponent conceded the game, and so that's where it ended. So yeah, I was very happy to finally defeat the Gut Star, but in all honesty, I mean, the stars had to align in the sky for me to be able to defeat this thing. Just thinking back, my BSB taking down his stubborn man-eaters to get behind his lines for a future rear charge. Having everything timed out so I could charge when I wanted to. My general heroic killing blowing his BSB to give me 4 combat res plus -1 to him. My double paladins just coming in and getting a bunch of wounds. And of course, failing his stubborn 9 to get run down. So, yeah. Really had to get lucky and have everything fall in place perfectly to be able to defeat this unit. Don't expect that to happen too much. But hey, I'll take it. I will definitely take it. My theory on defeating this unit is still the same. Gotta get into the rear. Gotta kill the BSB and have to kill the Crown of Command carrier. That's the only chance to really take it in combat. So I was happy to finally bring it down. So looking back in this game, another thing that allowed me to do this was I had complete control of the movement phase. I had 2 mounted yeoman units that got a couple key redirects to slow his Gut Star down and bait a charge from his Mournfangs. I think if he had maybe dropped 1 man-eater, he could have gotten 3 saber tusks, which would have completely changed this game, and I would not have the freedom to do what I did. So, yeah, that'll be a much bigger challenge if he throws those in his list. But yeah, happy for the win, and opponent was a good sport about it, so hope to play him again.